What is fringe benefit? Any goods, service, or other benefit furnished or granted in cash or in kind by an employer to an employee. Taxation on fringe benefit. Depende kung sino nakatanggap. If received by supervisory and managerial employees, then fringe benefits tax will be imposed. But if received by rank and file, the fringe benefits will be treated as part of compensation income subject to the graduated income tax rates and accordingly withholding tax on compensation. Ano ba yung difference ng managerial and supervisory? Under the labor code, when we say managerial, one who is vested with the powers or prerogatives to lay down and execute management policies and or hire, transfer, suspend, lay off, recall, discharge, assign, or discipline employees. When we say supervisory, makikita natin dito, their action is recommendatory, okay, but not merely routinary or clerical in nature, but requires the use of independent judgment. Now, how do we compute the fringe benefit tax? The tax rate is 35%. The tax base is GMV. Ano yun? Grossed up monetary value. So, ang tanong, paano natin i-compute ang gross up monetary value? Actual monetary value divided by 65% or 75%. So that would give you the gross up monetary value. So pag nakuha na natin yung gross up monetary value, i-multiply natin sa 35% or 25%, that is your fringe benefit tax. So the GMV, the gross up monetary value, is the actual monetary value plus the fringe benefit tax. Pwede rin nating sabihin, the GMV is the total fringe benefit expense. Kasi yung actual monetary value plus yung fringe benefit tax, sila ay part ng compensation expense. Sa ating 1603Q, ito kasi ginagamit natin sa pag-file ng fringe benefits, the quarterly remittance return of final income taxes withheld on fringe benefits. Tama po yun, ang fringe benefit ay final tax. So if the recipient is a general for citizen, resident alien, and non-resident alien engaged in trade or business within the Philippines, how do we compute? Ilalagay natin yung monetary value of fringe benefit. I-divide natin yan sa 65%. That would be the grossed up monetary value, which is the tax base. Now, pag nakuha natin yung tax base, multiply natin sa 35%, that would be the taxes withheld. Kung non-resident alien, not engaged in trade or business within the Philippines, we use 25% as the tax rate. So yung divisor niya, 75%. Hindi naman natin kailangang explain, di ba? Kung bakit 75 or 25. Although pinakita na natin dito kanina, yun yung difference nila sa 100. So 65, 100% minus 35%. Sir, saan po ba nanggaling yung 35%? Titigan mo yung tax table. The highest tax rate is 35%. Pero sa non-resident alien at engaged in trade or business, 25% yung applicable tax rate sa kanila. Di ba? Example, MRU company. Merong fringe benefit na binigay, magkano? 5,000. 5,000. Ito ay Filipino branch manager employee. So check, subject sa fringe benefit tax. So yung 5,000, hindi yun babawasan. Ang gagawin natin, yung 5,000, i-gross up natin. 5,000 divided by 65%. That is the GMV. And then i-multiply natin ang 35%, that would be the fringe benefit tax. So 5,000, ano yun? That is the actual monetary value. 7,692, that would be the total fringe benefit expense or the GMV. And then the difference between 7,692 and 5,000, that is your fringe benefit tax. So sir, pwede naman pala yung 7,692 i-minus na lang sa 5,000. Same ang answer. Yes, pwede naman, no? Diskarte mo na. Kung yung GMV i-multiply mo ng 35% or yung GMV i-minus mo na lang sa actual monetary value to get the fringe benefit tax. Another example, if the employee is a non-resident alien individual not engaged in trade or business, then 5,000 divided by 75% times 25%. So that would be the fringe benefit tax, 1,666 items of fringe benefit tax. Madami yan, ha? Pero not limited to the following. Dami nang nilistahin. Kulang pa pala yung listahan. Housing privilege. How do we compute the actual monetary value? Or the monetary valuation. Kailangan natin yung monetary valuation kasi yun ang i-divide natin sa divisor para makuha ang GMV. Sa housing privilege, pwede kasing lease. Okay? Lease. Ano ba yung lease? So itong ating supervisory and managerial employee, pinatira ng company sa isang condominium. Sino nagbabayad ng condominium? Yung company ang nagrenta. Okay. So list of residential property for the residential use of the employee. The actual monetary value is 50% of lease payments. Kasi hindi lang naman daw yon purely personal. Kaya ka pinatira dyan, 50% dyan ay for the convenience din ng employer. What if assignment? So dito walang lease, kundi yung property ay owned by the employer. Then pinagamit. So magkano ang monetary valuation? 5% times 50%. 5% of what? Lagi namang ganito to, di ba? The zonal value and the appraised value, whichever is higher. Okay, 5% of the zonal and the appraised value. Then hahatiin pa natin times 50%. So laging hinahati, ha? Laging hinahati yan. Next, kung purchase naman, binili yung property and then pinagamit sa empleyado. O sir, di ba parang assignment din lang yon? Kasi sa assignment, yung residential property owned na ng employer. Pero dun sa purchase, bumili lang. Pero owned pa rin ng employer and then pinagamit sa employee. So kaya naman, halos pakayas lang sila, di ba? 5% times 50%. 5% of what? Kaya dito, acquisition cost exclusive of interest. Okay. So pagka bibili lang, edi acquisition cost ang basis. Now, kung binili yan ng company at binigay sa empleyado, hindi pinagamit, ha? Hindi lang basta pinagamit na, pati yung ownership ay binigay na rin. Then 100% na yan. FMV or the zonal value, whichever is higher. List of residential property, example, no? Same. X Corp assigned Mr. Y to manage its branch office in Oriental Mindoro. Magkano ang valuation natin? Monthly rental of 75,000. So how much is the monthly fringe benefit tax thereon? I-divide natin yan ng, divide agad. Lease payment times 50%. Kasi lease eh. Hatiin mo muna. O i-divide mo ng 2 or i-multiply mo ng 50%. Month lang yan, di ba? Sabi nila. So 75,000 times 50%. So nagaling yung 75,000, that is your monthly rental. Yung 50% kasi siya ay owned by the company. So pag owned by the company, may 50%. So the monetary benefit is 37,500. Anong gagawin mo sa monetary benefit? I-divide ng 65%. Yan ang divisor natin kasi Filipino siya. Yung 65%, that would be your GMV yung GMV, i-multiply natin ng 35%. So the 20,192 is the fringe benefit tax. So kung tinanong, how much is the total fringe benefit expense? Eh di, yun yung GMV. That is 57,692. Eh kung tinanong lang, how much is the fringe benefit tax? Eh that is 20,192. O pag assignment, anong sinasabi natin? May 5% off the fair market value. Assignment ha, assignment. FCO furnished and granted the use of its Maui condominium to its executive vice president. So how much is the fringe benefit tax? Answer, 5% of the fair market value times 50%. Bakit hindi natin ginamit yung acquisition cost? Eh kasi owned na nga to ng company. So kung assignment lang, diretso na tayo sa fair market value. Okay, 5% of the fair market value or the zonal value, whichever is higher, times 50%, that is 125. That's the monetary value. So the monetary value divided by 65% times, times 35% is 67,307. That is your fringe benefit tax. How about list of residential property? Sabi natin, kukunin natin yung lease amount times 50% divide 65% times 35%. That is the fringe benefit tax payable for the quarter, 87,500. So dito pinakita na natin yung straight line computation. Kunin mo yung 325,000, i-multiply mo ng 50%, i-divide mo ng 65%, i-multiply mo ng 35%. That is the fringe benefit tax. Take note, itong mga housing na to ay hindi taxable. Housing privilege of the Armed Forces of the Philippines, kasi yan ay for the convenience of the employer. Dapat andun sila nakatira sa krame para madaling matawag. Housing unit, which is situated inside, nasa loob ng premise ng business. Pwede ba sa labas? Pwede rin naman. Basta maximum of 50 meters from perimeter of the business premise. Meron din tayong temporary housing for an employee who stays in housing unit for 3 months or less. Expense account. So when we say expense account, paid for or reimbursed. Okay? So ultimately, sino nagbayad? Ultimately, ang nagbayad dyan ay yung employer for the benefit of the employee. Take note, fixed and regular representation and transportation allowances are considered as taxable compensation income. Keyword, fixed and regular. Sa motor vehicle naman, ito yung mga circumstances, no? Purchased in the name of the employee. So acquisition cost and monetary valuation, similar to real property. Pwede ka naman na cash given to employee to purchase in his own name. Hindi yung cash received na ng employee. Purchase on installment in the name of employee. Acquisition cost exclusive of interest. So sinasabi niya, no? Kung installment yon, yung binigay sa'yo na cash flow, edi kunin mo yung present value. Kasi yung present value, exclusive doon yung interest. Then you have employee shoulders part of the purchase price, ownership in the name of employee. So amount shouldered by employer. Yung mga ganyan, di ba? Yung mga car plan na 60-40. 60% sa employer, 40% sa employee. O, edi 60% lang yung subject sa fringe benefit tax. And then employer leases and maintains a fleet for the use of a business and of employees. So sinong gumagamit? Sinong owner ng vehicle? Yung company. Kaya nakita nyo, 50%. Lumabas na naman yung 50% of rental payment. Or 50% of acquisition divided by 5. Kapag owned ng company yung mga sasakyan o yung fleet, laging may 50%. So kung yung employer owns and maintains a fleet of motor vehicles for use of its business and of employees, acquisition cost divided by 5. Parang depreciation times 50%. Kapag naman leases, then 50% of rental payment. Let's have an example. M Corp owns a fleet of motor vehicles in 2023. One of the cars, which was acquired at a cost of 400,000, was allowed as a service vehicle by one of its officials. During the year, its book value amounted to 375,000. How much was the fringe benefit tax due thereon? Parang ginawa natin dito, pinagamit ang alin? Ang motor vehicle na owned by the company. So, ayan yung 50%, no? Acquisition cost divided by 5 times 50%. That's the monetary value. Divided by 65% times 35%. That is the fringe benefit tax, 21,538. Ito naman ay binigay, yung sasakyan. The branch manager received a car with an acquisition cost of 2 million. In the name of the employee, so di ba? Yung rank and file naman, nakatanggap din ng kotse with an acquisition cost of 500,000. Laki ng difference, no? Compute the total fringe benefit tax based on the given data. Sir, parehas silang binigyan ng kotse, pwede bang i-combine? Huwag mo i-combine kasi yung isa rank and file. Kapag rank and file, hindi subject sa fringe benefit tax. Subject siya sa ordinary tax, diba? Sa graduated tax table. So yung 2 million lang yung target natin. 2 million, no? In the name of the employee. So 2 million na yung actual monetary value divided by 65% times 35%. So that is your fringe benefit tax. Household expenses, parang expense account, no? Pero ang mayroon sa household expenses, salaries of household help, personal driver of the employee, or other similar personal expenses. Then, interest on loan. Ano bang mayroon dito? Ito yung mga employee loan, no? Yung employer, minsan, meron silang benefit, no? Mas mababang interest kesa umutang ka sa bangko or sa labas. Sa nagpa 5-6, 20% yun eh. Ito, lower than anong benchmark? 12%. So pag mas mababa sa 12% yung pautang ni employer sa kanyang employee, the difference shall be treated as taxable fringe benefit. Halimbawa ito, nag-charge yung employer ng 4%. How much is the fringe benefit tax? So the difference between 12% and 4%, yun ang interest na subject sa fringe benefit tax. So, compute the interest at benchmark rate, 42,000, dapat ang bayaran niya. Pero binayaran lang niya na actual ay 4% or 14,000. The difference na 28,000 would be the value of the benefit. Tirang i-divide natin ng 65, i-multiply ng 35. Or kung mabilisan ng usapan, yung 8% na difference or the benefit, yun ang i-multiply mo na sa 350,000 na principal. Then divide 65 times 35, that would give you 15,076.92 centavos as the fringe benefit tax. Membership fees sa mga country clubs, sa mga social athletic clubs, golf clubs, and other similar organizations. Yan ay fringe benefits. Subject to the fringe benefit tax. Expenses for foreign travel. Pinadala ka sa abroad. Kung pinadala ka sa abroad, kasi may training sa abroad, Ay di foreign travel yon. Classification niya, foreign travel. Okay? Kasi yung fringe benefit, benefit yon. Under yon, compensation expense. So, hindi siya foreign travel. Ngayon, kailan magiging fringe benefit yung foreign travel? Una, pinadala ka sa abroad para mag-training and then wala kang proper documentation. Then you can claim it as under compensation expense, no? As fringe benefit. So, mangyayari lang doon, meron kang fringe benefit tax. So, you need to pay fringe benefit tax. Or, that's one, no? That's one. Second, traveling expense which are paid by the employer for the travel of the family members of the employee. Pinadala ka sa abroad, so magbakasyon ka. Sipag mo namang magtrabaho. Sana all. Sipag mo magtrabaho. Ito pa ang trabaho. Yan ang normal. Pero kung, na-recognize, pinagpunta ka sa abroad, kasi masipag ka magtrabaho, sabi, dapat nagta-travel ka. Yan. So, fringe benefit yan. Hindi yan papasok sa foreign travel expense but would be reported as part of the fringe benefit expense, no? Under compensation expense. Holiday vacation expense, no? Pinagbakasyon ka sa loob lang ng Pilipinas. Or, yung sa foreign travel, binigyan ka pa ng allowance. O, yung allowance na yun shall be treated as taxable fringe benefits. Now, remember, ito ay expense, no? Holiday and vacation expense. Yung VL credits, kasi nag-vacation leave ka, o kaya nagkaroon ng sick leave, yung mga ganyan. O, hindi naman yung fringe benefits kasi earned credits yun eh. Ginamit mo lang yung credits. Ito, expense. Binigyan ka ng cash o sila yung nag-shoulder ng expenses mo abroad or sa Boracay, sa El Nido. Okay, sa all. Then, yun ay isi-shoulder. Pag sinolder ng employer yung holiday and vacation expenses, part yun ng fringe benefit. Subject to the fringe benefit tax. If received, of course, by managerial and supervisory employee. Example, itong executive vice president na to ng non-stock non-profit university ay nagbakasyon. Total expense paid for by the school. Magkano? 200,000. How much is the fringe benefit tax? 200,000 divided 65 times 35%, that's 107,692. Educational assistance, hindi subject sa fringe benefit tax kung yung dependent mo, ano ba, yung anak, may anak ka, and then, sa dependents, dito muna tayo. Hindi subject sa fringe benefit kung yung employee mismo ay pinag-aral. Okay? Halimbawa, mga training yan usually. Okay, ito MBA sa AIM. May mga ganyan na benefits na benefit package sa ibang firm or company. So pinag-aral ka sa firm, sa AIM ng masters. So nag-aral ka doon at yung pinag-aralan mo ay related sa yung profession, no? Directly related sa employer's trade business or profession, and there's a written contract between them and na merong bond. Ano ba yung bond na yan? Pag-aaral ka sa AIM pero hindi ka pwedeng umalis for 2 years. Papadala kita sa training sa Florida pero hindi ka pwedeng umalis for 1 year. Yan, bond. Hindi yan subject sa fringe benefit tax. Pero kung pinag-aaral ka lang, no? Walang tali, walang bond, then the cost of the educational assistance to the employee which are borne by the employer shall be treated as taxable fringe benefit. Sa employee yan. No? Sa dependents, meron din. Kung yung dependent mo, pinag-aral ng employer, ay di subject sa fringe benefit tax. Di ba? Pero may exception. Kung magaling naman talaga yung dependent mo, na napili siya through a competitive scheme under the scholarship program of the company. O, ibang usapan na yun. Not subject to the fringe benefit tax. Ito pa yung mga hindi subject sa fringe benefit tax, yung insurance under SSS, JSS, and group insurance. Pero yung single insurance, ano ba yung president in-insure ng company, then subject na yan sa Fringe Benefit Tax. Cost of life or health insurance and other non-life insurance premiums borne by the employer. For the benefit, syempre ng beneficiary nung empleyado. Kasi baka mamaya ang beneficiary, yung company, ay hindi yun, labas yun sa usapan. Dapat ang beneficiary ay related dun sa employee. So we have non-taxable fringe benefits, kasama dyan yung de minimis benefits.